Titans Return Hardhead and Legacy Skullgrin. I really like both these figures. Yes, even Skullgrin. I think he's really cool. I definitely enjoy both of these. But the weird thing is, what's the thing that they have in common? Why am I showing them both? The thing that they have in common is that both of them were retooled and repainted into nobodies. Who is Quake? Who cares about Quake? Sure, he's a double target master, but he is just a guy that exists. He got a Titans Return figure, and he got a figure right at the tail end of Legacy. And both of these are pretty cool. Again, similar to Skullgrin, a lot of people are hating on the Legacy one, but I don't think it's very justified. I think the Legacy one is very nice. The Titans Return, it's a hardhead retool. Titans Return Deluxes are notorious for being very simple, but also pretty damn solid. And yeah, he's pretty cool. Now, I do have to give a disclaimer, unfortunately. I'm missing the gun on my Titans Return version. I have it here with hardhead. I have it here. It's just this but gray. I don't know where it is. I don't even know if I got him with it. But yeah, he is a straight up repaint. Literally the only physical difference he has is his head sculpt right up there. Meanwhile, good old Legacy Quake, he has a lot of differences. He has his Target Masters, Tip Top and Heater, I think. I honestly don't know which one is which. I am not even sure if I've got the names right. I'm not that Transformers fan that can remember every little Micromaster, Minicon, Target Master. Like, I do not have the brain space for that. I'm sorry, I do not. But, hey, it's cool that he actually comes with his Target Masters this time around. And I think he's pretty decent. I think both of these are pretty decent. But which one is better? Which one is the best Quake in your collection? Because everyone needs a Quake in their collection. Honestly, this is probably the biggest, like, Transformers glup shitto I've talked about on this channel. Like, who cares about Quake? Who's asking for Quake figures, honestly? I mean, he's neat, I guess. But I don't know, I've never been in the Quake fan club, but here I am with both of his toys. You can see here, both of them are deluxe, and both of them are deluxe size. So naturally, both of them are going to be about 5 inches tall. One thing I can definitely say, like, picking both of these up, the Legacy one just feels a little bit more substantial. That's because it's a Modern Generations figure, where during Titans Return, they still used, like, lots of ball joints, and they still had a lot of substantially hollow parts. With modern figures, they actively try to, like, fill in some of those gaps, and they actively try to make a more solid, durable figure without ball joints. And I think the Legacy one does a pretty good job of accomplishing that, even though, you know, it's still got a couple issues. Especially the alt mode looks a little odd, but I think some people are taking that alt mode and they are just totally twisting it into a story of this being an absolute garbage figure, which it is not. But before we really get in on the Legacy one, let's talk about the Titans Return. So I do want to bring in Hardhead again, just to show that he is literally the exact same thing as Hardhead, 100%. I do have him holding this big gun, number one, because I don't have the proper gun with him. And number two, I think the big shoulder cannon is a very Hardhead thing. So I didn't want to, you know, make this figure just feel like a gray and maroon Hardhead. I really do love the hardhead mold. I think it's really great. I don't know if they're ever going to get around to, like, redoing all these headmasters. If they do, I don't really think it needs to happen. Titans Return nailed them, in my opinion. I mean, even look at some of the headmasters they're still making to finish it up. They're still using Titans Return era molds. Like, why would they make new ones in that style, but then maybe remake these and then eventually have to remake the, I don't know. I don't see it happening. I don't think the demand for these guys being remade is there. Unlike the combiners, where everyone loves combiners and everyone will take combiners. In this instance, I don't see it. But hey, Quake did get an update, but that's because this figure was just a cheap, lazy repaint just to get another figure out on shelves. They were like, hey, Hardhead is somewhat of a tank. Let's go ahead and make that tank guy into a Titans Return character. Instead of a Target Master, now he's a Headmaster. Whoa, he can yoink his head off. And then it turns into a little man. Turns into a little tiny man. Yep, that's tiny. That's a tiny little man with a face upside down on his back. Yeah, I like Titan Masters. I like Titans Return. But it's just odd when they did it for characters that were not originally headmasters. The rest of him's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. I like his articulation. He's got like a hinge and a ball joint here at the arm, so it still gets pretty good range. Bicep swivel. He has technically double joints at the arms for transformation, but you get pretty good range. Swivels at the wrist, even though it's on a hinge, which is pretty impressive. I don't remember if the waist... No, the waist didn't do anything. He's got ball joints at the hips, swivels at the thighs, pretty decent knee bends, and the ankles pretty much just move in for transformation. So he's got pretty standard articulation and everything. I do think this is a pretty neat color scheme. I personally prefer these more muted colors on this Titan's Return one over the more bright garish colors of the Legacy. I really do like this lightning bolt Decepticon logo on his arms, though. I think that's really, really cool. Overall, like, I think he's got a neat look. He's got some silvers poking out here and there. Like, he's a neat looking bot. It's just not the most special thing in the world. Just to show what it looks like with that shoulder cannon configuration. I think it looks pretty neat. Like, it looks neat, but it's just such a hard head thing. I don't really see myself keeping him like that all the time. Even though, in this case, I'll just leave it up there for transformation, because that's where it's going to end up, in the vehicle mode. Alright, that's our Titan's Return. Now let's take a look at our Legacy. And the Legacy looks pretty nice. Like, the head sculpt is pretty cool. Looks a little, like, baby face-ish. I can't really describe it. I don't know if it's, like, the slightly puffy cheeks or something, but yeah, it just kind of looks a little baby-ish. It could be the brighter colors, too, throwing me off, because his red and blue are much brighter on this figure than they are on the Titan's Return. I do like this guy, though. I do. I think this bot mode is really solid. Like, it moves really well. Head's on a swivel. The arms are universal. He's got a bicep. He's got a really nice elbow bend as well. You can see I actually have his target masters like underslung because I just think he looks really cool like that. But to show them a little bit more traditionally, here he is just like holding them as he more traditionally would. But I don't know, I just think the underslung look looks very cool. So yeah, that's him holding them just a little bit more normally, I reckon. He doesn't have any swivels at the wrist. He does have a waist swivel this time around. The hips move very nice. Really like the hips. Knee bend's pretty good, and he's got a decent little ankle pivot. So, like, the articulation and everything's there. Like, he's not stiff. He's not awkward. Like, he poses good. He's a good posing bot. I don't see how people could really have any significant issue here in the robot mode. Taking a closer look at his accessories of Tip Top and Heater, I'm pretty sure I got that right. I literally looked it up right before I'm filming, and I'm still not confident. I'm not even going to pretend to know which one is which, and I'm also not even going to pretend to care, because these guys are just like two-piece little weapon guys. But I gotta say, they painted them amazingly. The detail on these is exquisite, dude. Absolutely exquisite. I love it. I love his little like missile rack up on his shoulders right there. And dude, he almost looks like a Gundam design. Like with the missile racks and these weird like arm shoulder blades. Looks like this one has like arm blades for real, like actual swords on his like arm shields. These are very like Japanese robot design, and I really like that. You can see they both transform the exact same way. I know sometimes they like the gun will flip from the other direction, something like that. But yeah, pretty neat. I do wish the weapons had more detail though. Like the guns just, there's a lot of hollowness back there, and there's like no paint for the guns. All the paint went to the bot modes on these guys. And yeah, that's pretty much our Legacy Quake all said and done. I like him. He's neat. I definitely love that port down there. I think it just really works for being like underslung. And hey, since I did a comparison with the original mold, let's bring in that Skullgrin so we can really see they did a decent amount of retooling. Like, oh my gosh, they retooled a lot. Now the arms, at least from the biceps down, seem to be the same. And again, I love that hole for the underslung because I gave my Skullgrin like this, you know, the underarm blade with the cannon. Like, it just looks so cool. It makes him look like a gladiator, and I love that. Like, going around to the back, it seems like there's a lot of new parts going on here. Like, can we even really call this a retool? There's so much new. Like, even look at the height. Quake is so much taller. They did a lot of new stuff on this figure. Like, it's almost unrecognizable. I think I can see, like, some stuff up at the shoulders the same. Maybe, like, the base core body block is the same as well, but the chest is not. The head is not, obviously. Shoulders, lower legs. Looks like the feet are. Looks like the feet are the same. Yeah, it's crazy how much they changed on this guy. I would say out of the two, I still prefer Skullgrin just because I think this is a perfect combination of his inner robot and his pretender shell. Like, this massive skull head looks so cool. Like, this seems like a guy that, like, you know, found some Quintesson style alien beast and like killed it, and then he just wears it as a mask over his robot head. I kind of wish you could remove it like as a mask, but it's literally just his head. Yeah, I love Skullgrin. I think did I do a video on him? I might have. I don't remember. But yeah, this guy is pretty neat. All right, let's go ahead and do some transforming. First and foremost, on our Titans Return Quake, we're going to have to pop that head off. Sorry, bro. And then we're going to flip the hands in. Geez, it's been quite a while since I've transformed this mold. I'm pretty sure I remember it. Pretty sure it's a pretty easy transformation. I know the arms kind of collapse, and these become like the front treads. Pretty sure this untabs. Oh yeah, and the back untabs as well. And this all just kind of curls, almost like a classic Beast Machines Viacon. And then this goes down and plugs in right there. Yeah, we've almost got it. We've seriously almost got it. Then we're going to swing this around. The feet are going to flip in, I believe. And I reckon the last thing is just moving these legs. And these are just going to tab into the side. And then tab into, like, the backpack, like right there. Yeah, pretty easy transformation. But hey, once you got it, you got it. Here is our Titans Return Quake in his very clearly hard head tank mode. Let's go ahead and open up this cockpit real quick. Oh, I broke it. No. Anyways, yeah, just go ahead and get our little robot friend in there. Close up the cockpit, and hooray, look, now it's complete. We've got this big old turret. There's this hinge here as well. I think, oh yeah, it like opens up and you can have another guy in there if you want. I think that's actually kind of cool. You can have like another little guy manning the turret, but you can also like hinge it up and have it like fully rotate, which is really cool. I really enjoy the functionality of this tank mode, but it is a very unorthodox tank. It's a very robotic, futuristic looking tank, not super realistic, and definitely not what G1 Quake was. G1 Quake was pretty much just a brick with treads and a turret. And that's pretty much what our Legacy one is going to emulate now, isn't it? When I set it down, I realized I missed a step. We need to move that down so he's not just going to like hobble around when you actually set him down. All right. I think I sort of mostly remember how to transform this guy. I think so. I don't know. It's been a while since I've transformed this mold. I don't think we need to remove that for the transformation. I'm not going to yet. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What happens with this transformation? I don't even remember. I should have like looked and practiced before the video. But every once in a while I do that, and every once in a while, you know, your boy, he doesn't. He doesn't do that. But I think we're making progress. I think progress is still being made here. The arms, pretty sure just like go in like that. Then they tab together. And I'm trying to remember, does the turret like face this way now? No, it doesn't. What happens, this like hinges down. Yeah. You untab it and then it like hinges down. Yeah, there we go. Progress is still, we're still on the progress train. We're still making progress. And then the feet and the whole leg assembly. I know it does something. I'm literally just like mashing things around trying to figure out what moves and how it moves. Okay, I know there's a hinge right here. I remember that. I remember that much. And then, oh my goodness. I think progress is still being made, question mark. Oh yeah, there's this big panel here too. Gotta move that. And then, once we get the foot in, okay, there's like the majority of the tread. There is the majority of the tread right there. All right. All right. And then this will like just tab in. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We're on a roll. We're on a roll. I went ahead and did the other side off camera because I felt like it. And then I think one of our last steps, we want to get like those black tabs tabbed into the arms, just kind of squeezed in a little bit more. And there we go. Here's our Quake in his very blocky little tank mode. And I like this tank. I think it's cute. It's very stumpy, very big, very blocky. I think the biggest issue with this tank is that it's the front. I think if the front just didn't look like that, if the front just had like a bumper or something, if there was a bumper on this tank, it would look so much better. I think that's the biggest issue, and the thing that everyone sees is just the fact that the front of the tank is just like weird blacks and hinges and gaps and everything. If there was a bumper, I can guarantee you people would not be as mad as they are. This is one of those figures that I think is very, very overhated. It's not that bad. It's really not. I wonder if you can like have these guys stand anywhere. Probably not. But we can probably like tab them up here. We can like give them even extra weapons. Double target master tank turret mode. Yeah, he's decked out. He's ready for battle. You're done, bro. You're done. So that's pretty much it, guys. There's my old versus new on Quake. What do I think about Quake? I think he's a nobody, but he's got a couple pretty fun figures. They're just repaints and retools of pre-existing figures that I prefer over these guys, but they're still fun. Now, which one is the winner in my opinion? I think I gotta give it to the Legacy one, just because the Titans Return, like, that mold is Hardhead, dude. Like, I cannot see anyone else other than Hardhead, really. And they're really trying to, like, squish another character into a mold that is just not for him. However, I think the Legacy one does a pretty good job. If he just had a front bumper on that tank mode, I think we'd be set. But hey, you know, 3D printing exists. Scratch building exists. Hell, for all I know, there's already an upgrade set for Quake where it gives him a bumper and makes him look better. And I feel like they could like have given him a bumper piece and it actually would have looked like a pretty decent shield if they sculpted it right. Like you could actually like have a shield on his arm. But hey, you know, I still think he's pretty cool for what he is. His target masters are pretty nice. I don't think they need to pose or anything. I think they get the job done. Yeah, I definitely like the Legacy one, and he'll go with my Decepticon nobodies. Now, for the Titans Return, what's going to be his fate? What's going to be his fate in my collection? Well, I'm not going to display him anymore. Like, I don't really need to do that. I've got this new Quake, and I've got my old Hardhead. But I don't know. I just see this mold and everything, and I see it already just being a nobody, and I see maybe potential for a custom. I don't know. I've never done a Transformers custom. I literally have never done it. I've done custom clones. I've recently done some custom Batman figures, but I've never done a custom Transformer, ever. I've even done some pretty heavy custom work on certain Gunpla, but I've never taken apart a Transformer. I've never painted it. I've never done anything like that. So, hey, maybe there might be something that happens with this Quake at some point. You know, maybe he'll end up in my custom box, and maybe one day an idea will strike and I'll do something with him. But for now, there's no idea. He'll sit in storage for a bit until that idea maybe arises. Alrighty, guys, there we go. There's my old versus new on Titans Return and Legacy Quakes. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Special thanks and shout outs to channel members as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.